The first age ended in fire and wrath. Morgoth was cast into the void and the world was reshaped. But from the ashes of that cataclysm came a new era, an age of rebuilding, of mortal glory, and of subtle corruption. This was the second age of Middle-earth, the age of Númenor, the forging of the rings of power, and the rise of Sauron, the deceiver. So welcome back to Somewhat Flawed, where we dive into Tolkien's lore to uncover the truth behind the legends. If you love Middle-earth as much as I do, hit subscribe, drop a like, and let's journey into the Second Age. When the War of Wrath ended, Morgoth was defeated, but the world was forever changed. Beleriand, the great land of the First Age, was swallowed by the sea. The surviving elves sailed west, or settled in Lindon, under the High King Gil-galad. And from among the Edain, the noble men who had fought beside the elves, the Valar gifted a new land, Númenor, an island shaped like a five-pointed star in the western seas. There men would live long lives, blessed with wisdom and strength far beyond ordinary mortals. Thus began the Age of Númenor and the dawn of the Second Age. Númenor, or Andor, the land of the gift, became the greatest civilization of men ever known. Its first king was Elros, brother of Elrond. Elros chose mortality and ruled Númenor for over 400 years. Under his descendants, Númenor grew mighty. They mastered shipbuilding, astronomy, and art. They sailed east to aid Middle-earth's lesser men, teaching them crafts and lore. For centuries, they were noble, faithful to the Valar, and guided by the elves. But pride, as always, crept into their hearts. While Morgoth was gone, his greatest servant had survived, Sauron, once a Maya of Ole. Sauron vowed to continue his master's work, to dominate Middle-earth. Taking on a fair and noble form, he called himself Anatar, the Lord of Gifts. He came to the elves of Eregion, who were skilled in craft and smithing, led by Celebrimbor, the grandson of Feanor. Under Sauron's guidance, they forged the rings of power, beautiful, magical, and strong. But in secret, Sauron crafted one ring to rule them all, in the fires of Mount Doom. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. The elves sensed the deceit, removed their rings, and Sauron's mask of friendship fell away. War erupted between Sauron and the elves, the War of the Elves and Sauron. Sauron's armies devastated Eregion. Celebrimbor was captured and tortured to death. The elves fled to Lindon and a hidden refuge called Imladris, later known as Rivendell. Just as all seemed lost, mighty ships appeared on the western shores. The Númenorians had come. They drove Sauron back and saved the elves of Middle-earth. For a time, Sauron's power waned, but the seeds of his vengeance were sown. As centuries passed, the Númenorians grew envious of the immortality of the elves. Though they lived long, death still came to them, and they began to fear it. Their hearts turned from the Valar, and they built great fleets, conquering the coasts of Middle-earth. By this time, Sauron had rebuilt his power. But when the Númenorian king Ar-Pharazôn landed with his army, Sauron knew he could not win by strength. So he surrendered, willingly. Through deceit and flattery, Sauron corrupted the proud king. He taught dark rituals, built great temples to Morgoth, and turned Númenor's people to shadow. Finally, Ar-Pharazôn dared to challenge the Valar themselves, sailing west to seize immortality. The Valar called upon Eru Ilúvatar, and in an instant, Númenor was destroyed. The island sank beneath the sea, a new Atlantis, and Sauron's body was lost forever, though his spirit endured. From the wreck of Númenor came a few survivors, the faithful, led by Elendil and his sons, Isildur and Anarion. They founded two kingdoms in exile, Arnor in the north and Gondor in the south. But Sauron returned, taking physical form once more, and forged his dominion in Mordor. He waged war upon the Dúnedain, seeking to destroy the line of Númenor. At last, the last alliance of elves and men was formed. Gil-galad and Elendil united their peoples and marched on Mordor. After a long and terrible siege, Sauron himself came forth. Gil-galad and Elendil perished, but Isildur cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand, and his spirit fled into the shadows. The Second Age had ended, but the shadow of the ring had only just begun. The Second Age was the bridge between myth and history. It gave us Númenor, the Rings of Power, and the foundation of Gondor and Arnor. It was an age of glory and ruin, of deceit and hope, and its echoes reach all the way to the Lord of the Rings, for the fate of that One Ring would define the Third Age and the destiny of all Middle-earth.